Hi, this is Peter Darts Clairvoyance here, and I'm doing your astrology, I'm doing your tarot reading here for Gemini, May 2020. So Gemini, May 2020. So let's see what we get here for you. Right, okay, so let's just start off with an overview, and let's see what's just generally going on around you. Okay, so you Geminis, it's basically now, it's all about new emotional beginnings. So I always look at this as your true love card, but it's also the cup of plenty. So in other words, everything's kind of overflowing around you. So everything's possible, new beginnings, fresh starts. But if we look at that in a loving and emotional sense, I feel like we don't trust. We've got to start learning to trust. So in other words, now we've got to start focusing where we're going long term. And then as we do that, we can start to get where we need to be. But it's like sometimes there's a bit of lack of communication. So now you need to sort of start to fill the gaps in a little bit. But it's almost like you've got to start choosing wisely now about who you want to really be with and who you want to connect with now as you move forward. And I just feel as though it's almost like love is sort of coming in between goals about things that you want to do and achieve for the future. So it's like you've got to start trusting your gut feelings now with your intuition, and you've got to start connecting with different people. You need to learn to get out there and socialize a little bit more, and you've got to start setting your goals now, and the study and training and learning new skills here, which is going to become very apparent. But I just feel so all of a sudden as time goes by, you're going to start to move off in a slightly different direction with your thoughts and ideas for the future, and I feel like long term this is going to pay dividend in a really big way. But I feel like now you've got to focus on where your happiness and loyalties lie. But I feel like sometimes it's like your mind's on one thing and you're supposed to be focusing on this over here, and it's like they're not gelling. So it's a bit like you're not focusing your mind where you should be. And you were all capable of doing different things like having a career and having a love life, but I feel like at the moment you're not focusing on that sort of big goals, and I just feel as though it's a shame. And if you're not careful, it's like things could run away with you and you could lag behind on what you're really seeking for the future. And this is what you got to be careful of. And then there could be somebody around you who's really motivating and rolling forward and making things happen, and you could end up being a little bit jealous. So be very careful. I feel like you've got to get this finely tuned balance now in the things that you're wanting and seeking, because you can have it all, but you've got to learn to focus. Right, so let's have a look at relationships, Gemini. Okay, so Gemini. So basically now it's like love life is building up. And there's also something to do with overseas. You could be going away on holiday together, or you could be going to see somebody abroad. And this is great, but it's almost like you're worrying about it, as if to say, should you be going abroad or not? So you are looking forward, but you're also trying to focus on your ideas. So it's like at the moment it's like you're a bit stuck. It's like it feels like you can't do the things that you want. It's like you want to go abroad, you can't. You want to focus on your career and you can't. So everything seems to have stalled around you. It's not stopped. There is sort of love life is there, money's trickling in a little bit, but it's like it just feels so you're a bit blocked at the moment, but gradually things will start lifting up and these blockages will be released, and you will be able to get out there now and start focusing on what you truly want to be doing. So all of a sudden change is coming. The blockages will be released. You'll start to sort of add a bit of balance for you of what you want to do. And then your Wheel of Fortune kicks in, everything's coming together, but you've got to make some big, massive decisions now, and these are going to be life-changing. But you've got to stop being this sensitive soul, and you've got to start being the strong person that you can be to go out there and find what you want. So if you're in a relationship, it's building up. Or if you're in a relationship that you're not happy, I can see you analysing it, trying to figure out where you want to be. You're either going to build it up and make it work, or you're going to let it go. There are new temptations coming in, and I feel so you just got to sift through them to see which is right for you. And if you're single, I just feel, you could find love connected with overseas. So in other words, it's like I feel so I'm drawn to overseas, either on holiday romance, or something along those lines. But I've got love linking with overseas linking with love, and also other things kind of going on in the background. So a lot of changes are going on with relationships with Geminis at the moment. Right, let's have a look at work and career. Okay. Right, so careers can get very, very interesting. For some of you, you could be connecting with self-employment, business ideas. And it's like your wishes and dreams are there, and I just feel so when some of you could be working from home or looking at a property to work from, and I just feel so that's really good and really interesting. But I feel like some of you now, you've got to start sort of reaching out a little bit and seeking advice, whether it's to do with career or business ideas. I just feel so everything's there for you. So it's like you're in the driving seat now to push things forward and get out there now and start making things happen for yourself. So all you've got to do now is just cut through all the crap now and sort things out. But I feel like Gemini, work and career needs your attention. Whether it's to do with work and career or business ideas, it needs your attention. And I just feel, and this is where you've got the Lovers card coming out, which is all about resolvement. So it's like things have got to be sorted and changed and tweaked a little bit. And there's going to be some disagreements as well around the home as well for you Geminis, whether it's to do with work and career or just living at home. But things will gradually start to come together for you. So things aren't looking negative, but things just need to change. And you've got to start to focus on that energy now to bring that positiveness in. But I feel so no matter what you're doing, I've got career and business ideas blossoming out and growing. Everything feels a bit flat at the moment, but it will start to pick up. So I would say you're on a bit of a gradual progression now towards the end of the year, and I feel like by the time you get to sort of about Christmas time, you should be back on track with things more or less. And if you're not, then maybe you need to change direction to get some kind of income coming in. You can't just stay focused and say, right, that's how I'm meant to be doing my work, or that's how I was doing it, and not going with the changes in times. Sometimes we've got to change, we've got to learn to adapt and change. Because if we don't, we get stuck and lost behind and left behind. So it's like it feels though you've got to start embracing everything. Okay, so that's good. And let's have a look at money. Okay, so money's not looking bad, but again, I feel so some of you could be in self-employment, some of you may be looking at partnerships, and I just feel so, and as you do, I feel so that's really good. So get out there and start to sort of resolve a few things and get things back on track with business ideas. If it's just to do with sorting out money at home and with your partner, again, I feel so you've got to start talking to each other, putting things in balance and looking to the future. And then as you do that, everything will come together. What you mustn't do is spend money if you're just getting bored, because that way you'll be wasting money. Money's going to be trickling to your fingers. You're going to end up in debt and in a mess, and you haven't sorted finances out, you haven't focused on your career, and it's going to sort of compound the problem. So just feel so don't go wasting money on online shopping because you're stuck at home getting bored and fed up, because it's not the answer. The answer is to sort money out, embrace it, change, direct yourself, look at new ways of earning some money, even if it's just doing a little bit of buying and selling online a little bit to get yourself out there to, sort of perhaps even just go through your house and things that you don't want no more, all those clothes that you don't wear no more. It's like sell them, you know, bring some extra money in. It'll keep you busy, it'll keep you focused, you've got something to do, you can bring some money in, and then you could go and buy yourself a new dress that you want, but you haven't wasted money doing it because you've just turned that money around. And that's what it's all about. Some of you are going to be saving up for a house move, and I do get with you Geminis, there could be a house move coming up, because it's like I feel so you're not happy in the situation where you're at, and that's absolutely fine, could work to your advantage, but do bear in mind, if you're doing it on a whim, you could become worse financially off. And it's like sometimes you don't realise what you're quite doing and how lucky you have been where you're at. So be careful not to rush into house moves too aggressively. Okay, but I feel so overall you should find money being okay. So that's good. And let's have a quick look at health. Okay, so with health, keep an eye on your back aching a little bit, keep an eye on your hands and wrists, watch out for some tension headaches, and try and stay out of arguments and disagreements, because that just drains your energy a little bit. So keep an eye on that kind of situation around you, but overall not too bad. Right, let's have a look over the course of the year. Anything you need to know or should be warning about, anything you've got to look out for? No, again, it's telling you to focus on contracts and self-employment, anything to do with money that you're signing. Seem to be drawn to a house move coming in with you, and watch out what's going on to do with a car. You may be looking at a car or driving lessons or something to do with along those lines. Okay. Right, let's have a look at family. Now, with family, communicate your thoughts and speak your mind, but don't get dragged into arguments. It's like you don't need it. Keep an eye on perhaps a stubborn child around you's got a bit of a chip on the shoulder, like a bit of an attitude at the moment. They're not listening. I wouldn't try and argue back with them. I wouldn't try and sort of suppress them. I would just sort of ignore them, you know, just ignore them, but just don't go giving to their every whim. And I feel like gradually they'll calm down and see that they have been a bit of a so-and-so with you, and that attitude will change, you know, and that's the way to do it. But I feel like if you go pushing and arguing with them, they'll just throw it back at you, and it just makes things worse. Family generally around you, I feel as though over the next sort of 6 weeks things should gradually start to calm down. You'll start to reconnect with family and friendships, and I feel like you'll start to feel a lot more joyful about that, so that's good. Okay, and let's see what your angels have got to say. Right, so perfect timing now for you to be acting on your inspirations and getting out there now and making things happen for yourself. Don't worry so much what the purpose of your life is, just focus on what you feel as though you should be doing. In other words, push your agenda forward. And here you are, you've got the law of attraction, as if to say, look, there are positive things coming around you now as you move forward. So great time for you to be focusing on things and making things happen. So I hope you've enjoyed that. I hope it's made sense to you. So I hope you look forward to the next video. If you do want a private reading with me, I do videos like this, but I do them in the evening when it's completely quiet in my home. I don't do them outside because you want it nice and quiet and peaceful. And I just feel as though they are quite good, and they start from £3 up to £32 for a full reading. So have a look on peterdartsclairvoyant.co.uk. But I just thought it would be nice for a change to do these astrology tarot reading videos outside in the sunshine for a change. I know it's not exactly peaceful and quiet, but it's not too bad. So hope you've enjoyed it. So wish you well, stay safe and look after yourself. Thanks very much. Bye bye.